Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Mr. Peden's Vlog. I would like to take some time and thank all the new subscribers who have added my page to their list of subscriptions. I don't get the amount of subscribers that Tay Blame Society Films, or Tiffany Jones and Her Mulatto Diaries do, but I appreciate people who like my content and are willing to be up to date on what I have to offer. I know I don't have Chad Vader, I don't have diaries on multiracial identity or anything like that, but I appreciate the support from the community. I don't know how long it will be until I reach 100 subscribers, but I believe that will happen pretty soon, and when that happens I will make a video honoring that milestone. So I wanted to say thank you by offering you some inside information on some current projects I've got going on, and so hopefully some new projects to come. As you may know, high school basketball is right around the corner, and I will be broadcasting another season of high school girls basketball. It will be my third season at Play-by-Play, and I will start once again at Hamlin with the Pat Patterson Thanksgiving Tournament. It's going to be very exciting. There could be a potential Central Centennial match and a South Hopkins match. Both Central and South, last year's competitors in the Class 4A state championship, are playing, but they're in different brackets, so they will not see each other. And apparently South doesn't want to play Central again. Perhaps that loss got to them a little bit. Maybe they feel a little too embarrassed about losing to a team they were supposed to beat in the championship, but I can't read their minds, so I'm not going to propose any sort of opinion or theory as to why South does not want to play Central. It baffles me, but hey, I can only control the things I control. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure how many games I will do, and it'll probably be like last year in terms of scheduling. I'll schedule some non-conference games, and then when time gets closer I will pick some other games. I use the flex pick model NBC uses for Sunday Night Football, where instead of determining a schedule at the beginning of the season and sticking with that, I pick games based on who's competitive, who's doing well, what matchups look like it would be close, because in high school there just isn't a lot of parity. Let's face it, you're going to have games where teams are blowing out opponents by 100 points. So I will do my best to keep you up to date with that, and if you want to get previews of the games I will be televising, you can visit my blogspot site. That's the sportsbrain1 numerically .blogspot.com. Again, the sportsbrain1.blogspot.com. Second, I will also be producing a new autism documentary within the next couple months. We're halfway through the fall semester, so when the semester concludes and we're on winter break, I will probably start on the 5th part of my autism series. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to come full circle in a sense and offer reflections on what I've learned since I started the series over a year ago. I've learned quite a bit. I learn new things all the time, and I'm planning to do that and mix in some interviews with friends of mine that I met in college, and just to kind of see what kind of progression I've made and personally, and what progressions I have made with others at the college level. Everyone else I've talked to at this point I met in high school or earlier. Next, there's going to be some new projects that I hope to bring to you also in the coming months. I know it's quite a bit on my plate, but when you have a life like mine, you have a lot of time to work on video projects. So I've been meaning to work on my follow-up to last year's Relay for Life program. I know it wasn't the most popular program I have on this page, but I taped a few different relays, and even though I'm no longer a part of Colleges Against Cancer, I feel that it's my duty to fulfill my obligations that I laid out for them last year, and so I intend to do that. And finally, I'm also looking to go into a new direction with a new program that you haven't seen before. It goes off of the multiracial identity story that I uploaded earlier in the year. That was an assignment in my electronic news reporting and writing class. I interviewed 9 people in all. I'm going to use 7 because of time constraints, and the project is just going to be an expansion of what I discussed in the multiracial identity story, what it's like to live with more than one ethnic background and how does the community respond to that. I did talk to someone who was not part of the pool who offered his views because he did a project that was similar to mine, but I will include that in another video. So those are the updates I have to offer you, and I'm going to finish this blog with acknowledging and commenting on the recent comments comedian Denis Leary made regarding autism. If you're not aware of it, Denis Leary is publishing a new book called Why We Suck, and as you might guess, he's a comedian, so naturally he's going to take jabs at anyone and anything, but his comments go in the same light or follow the same light as Michael Savage did earlier this summer in his criticism of autism diagnoses. And here is one quote from that book. Leary writes, "There is a huge boom in autism right now because inattentive mothers and competitive dads want an explanation for why their dumbass kids can't compete academically. So they throw money into the happy laps of shrinks to get back diagnoses that help explain away the deficiencies of their junior morons. I don't give a shit what these crackerjack whack jobs tell you. Your kid is not autistic, he's just stupid, or lazy, or both." Naturally, the Autism Society of America was not too thrilled with this. It again emulates what Michael Savage said earlier this summer, and I read some comments, and I concur with the opinion that as parents they are angry, but not angry just because Leary took a shot at it. I mean, they understand that he's a comedian, and so they're going to say some things that cross the line. But the bigger concern is that that argument is what uneducated people could cling to if they hear about autism, or if they hear about funding or other events going on that focus on autism awareness or just resources for children with disabilities. Autism has been taking a back seat lately with the election and the economy. It was a media darling earlier this year, and I really feel that it's still not going to be ignored, that once the election subsides, there's going to be the post-election hoopla, and once the economy rebounds, we know it will. It rebounded after the 2001 recession, although people argue that it didn't rebound the way it should have. Autism will eventually return to the limelight, and someone's going to bring this topic into discussion. And I just believe that we're starting to see that now it's getting more exposure. It's naturally getting the criticism and jokes and response that other topics did when they were in the social taboo stages of discussion. Race, gender, sexual orientation. Still, sexual orientation is considered a big taboo, and people aren't aware of it, and so when they're not aware of something, they make comments that cross the line and sound uneducated. I don't want to necessarily blame them and say, oh, they're ignorant and they need to know what's going on. They should know what's going on, but they need to keep their mouths shut, because I just feel that it might inhibit on the freedom of expression and speech, and if we don't have people who cross the line and make these comments, I think it could it undermines the efforts people are trying to make in advancing autism awareness. But at the same time, if people don't remember that there are still those out there that aren't aware of it and that aren't educated and still believe the old philosophies of a diagnosis that's just made up, then we might get carried away and remember that the primary goal of autism awareness in all these stories is to educate people on the disability, what it is, and that it doesn't have any physical symptoms, but it very well can impact our country as a whole. That's all I have for today. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, see you later.